Hello there, everybody. Hi, hello, hi, how are you? Uh-oh. YouTube's not going to be happy with this intro. They're going to say, you're fired. And I'm like, you can't fire me from YouTube. I quit. And then I tip a desk over and jump out the window to freedom, sweet, sweet freedom. But that's just one scenario in my future. Another scenario is I stay here and play Animal Crossing with you, and we both play Animal Crossing, we watch it together, we have a great time. So that's an option. Something to think about if you're that way inclined. Maybe you'd like to give it a think. Oh, we got the pond, that's fine. What's this? A garden pond, there it is. And a lemon table. Delicious. We have a special offer today on a stunning CD player. There's always a wide variety of other items as well. Why not step by? He's like a little skeleton. You know what I mean? He's got like skeleton bits to him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Is today Halloween? I don't know. Not in the game, but I mean like in when this episode goes up. I'm not sure. It might be Halloween. If this is Halloween, then congratulations. Today is the spookiest episode of all time. The actual Halloween episode won't be for a number of weeks. It might be 2 or 3 weeks before we get the actual Halloween episode. Because let me see. We're at the beginning of October in this game, so we might not get the Halloween episode until a couple of weeks later. But we can wait. That's fine. We'll make today's episode spooky. I do hope today is Halloween, otherwise this is gonna look silly. But we can make today's episode look super spooky. And then the Halloween in-game episode will get even spookier. It'll be spooktastic. I hope you guys are ready for spooks. I hope you guys don't mind me saying the word spooks over and over again because you're about to hear it. Maybe I should tell a scary ghost story on Halloween. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay. Here's a scary ghost story for everybody. One time there was a skeleton and it could move by itself without the need of a brain or skin and bones or muscles that would be able to move the bones around normally, like it's in a real human, or anything else that has a skeleton. For example, cat or jellyfish. So, the skeleton is capable of moving about by itself, and it has no brain, but it can talk and move and dance. And every Halloween, it dances, and then another skeleton plays a trumpet. Even though skeletons don't have lungs with which to play a trumpet, to blow air at it, or lips with what you would need to properly blow into the trumpet, skeleton doesn't have any of those things. But the that's how scary it is. That's how spooky this is. You look at that and go, a skeleton can't play the trumpet, and then he jumps up and starts playing the trumpet. And you're like, oh my god. This is the scariest thing I've ever seen. That's almost as scary as the idea of a skeleton moving around by itself. Is the idea that the skeleton can play the trumpet without having lungs or lips. My goodness. This is probably something you will exclaim out loud, and the skeleton will hear you, and he'll just shrug his shoulders. He's like, I'm not concerned. I'm a dancing skeleton that can play the trumpet. I'm not concerned. Hi, Mitzi. Did that scare you? Were you scared? This is a scary story. What do you think? I thought it was there's a lot of scare. How about reading a really strange letter for me? Oh, this should be scary. This would be perfect for the Halloween episode. Here we go. Let's see. Tell me, Mitzi, when I first came there was nothing. The emptiness saddened me and I bent my will to planting flowers. Is this village not better for my efforts? What did you think? It made no sense. Okay, thank you, Mitzi. I would have liked to have a little horror story, something a little, kind of like my skeleton story that was really scary. But, that's fine. That's acceptable. You don't have to worry about it. I'll come up with another scary story for you, Mitzi. So you don't have to do one. I'll come up with it. And you don't have to be anywhere nearby because I don't want to scare you, Mitzi. I'll scare Tom. Tom, what about this for scary? Have you heard my old skeleton story? It's sort of scary. If you've heard that, check this one out. One time there was a vampire, and he went to the shops, to a shopping mall, if you will. But he went to the shops, and he was like, "I want, we're gonna get that blood." And the man at the shop was like, "Sorry, sir, we don't sell blood." And the vampire was like, "Oh, what am I gonna do now? I'm real thirsty." And the man at the shop was like, "How about this delicious Diet Pepsi?" And the vampire's like, "I am trying to watch my figure, I suppose. I don't know if this diet drink would help that." And the man behind the counter, the guy who works there, is like, "Listen, dude, I'm not a dietitian here. I'm not, I'm not a doctor. I don't really know what your best option for a diet is. I just know that Diet Pepsi's right here and it's on sale if you want some." And then the vampire's like, "All right, how many coins do I owe you?" And the man was like, "We don't take coins. It's like card only in this shop." And the vampire reached into his pocket, and he didn't have his card with him, so he couldn't pay for the Pepsi. And he was like, "Dang, goodbye," and he walked away. So how about that one? Was that scary? You know the feeling whenever you go out shopping, you don't have your cash card with you? Oh my god. So spooky, so scary. My goodness. So I think that one was pretty good. What it's no, it's not scared yet. That's fine, because I have a feeling that this next story will really put the willies up you. That is a phrase. I feel like that phrase has kind of gone out of use. "Oh, I've got the willies." It's really putting the willies up me. It means that you're scared. It doesn't mean that you have look, it doesn't matter. But it means that you're scared, alright? So maybe I can come up with a story that will truly scare you. And I think I will. So, the Wolfman is having a bath, right? And he's in his wolf form. He made the bath while he was in human form. So he put all the bubble bath in and stuff. And then he got in, but the window, like the curtains weren't closed, and he could see the full moon. And then he went, "Ow!" And then he turned into a werewolf. And then he was in the bath, and he's like, "Oh, although this is lovely on my fur, the bubbles." So he just played in the bath with the bubble bath for a long time. And he had a great, he was like, "It makes my skin feel so," usually my werewolf skin is so rough and coarse. But this bubble bath really makes my skin feel nice and smooth. It does a lot for my fur, which is also usually quite coarse and hard to touch. But this bubble bath is really smoothing things out. And so from that day on, the werewolf decided, "Oh, I have to come up with a new... Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Yes, I know, because we're talking about this. I'm not going to put any spaces in it because I need to put the whole phrase in. This is exactly what we were talking about. Bubble wolf. Bubble wolf. Yep. It does sound pretty hip. So every day after that, whenever there was a full moon and he was going to turn into a werewolf, instead of going out under the town terrorizing people, he just ran a bath and not had a bath. Then he went into the bath and felt good. Why are you angry? I'm sorry, but I want to be alone right now. Cool. That's fine. What have you got to say, Frogette? A jam bed, if you will, but whatever works for you. It's not like I always have interesting things to talk about. Boy, I'm out here trying to come up with stories, trying to come up with loads of great stories for Halloween, and people are like, I don't have anything to talk about. Come on, man. Figure it out, you know? Do we have time for one more? I think we have time for one more story. A story so scary, you'll go, whoa, you know? So let's see. Let me reach into my big bag of totally real ghost stories. I come up with a story about ghosts for you guys to really terrify you and terrorize you. No, maybe not terrorize, but definitely terrify. There's no zombie dinosaur bones. I don't see any. Anyway, so there's a ghost, and he went to a man's house. He's like, I'm haunting you. And the man was like, cool, it's nice to have a friend. And the ghost was like, oh, are we friends? And the man was like, yeah, is that cool? And the ghost was like, I've never had a friend as a ghost before. That's really nice, thank you. And then the man was like, you want something to drink? The ghost is like, oh my god, I'd love something to drink. That would be delicious. And then the man pours him a cup of tea. A cup of green tea. Delicious green tea. And then he says, hey, here you go, ghost. And the ghost tries to drink it, but he can't because he's a ghost and he can't drink the tea. And the man's like, I got you, Mr. Ghost. And the ghost is like, no, you fooled me. I thought we were friends. And the man says, I would never be friends with a ghost. Hiya! And then he karate chops the ghost. And then the ghost, like, dissipates for a second. But then he comes back because he's incorporeal and you can't karate chop a ghost. Right? If I've learned anything in my life, take this advice to the bank. If there's one thing I've learned in life, you can't karate chop a ghost. Why do people keep giving me really shitty costumes to wear? I don't like it. I'm a man. I got style. I need to show that off to the world. But anyway, that's it. I hope you guys weren't too scared by today's episode. It was very spooky. I also hope this episode really is going up on Halloween. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a bit of an idiot. But there we go. That's it. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I'll be back again tomorrow with more scary stories that'll really give you the willies. So, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Happy Halloween.